Welcome back, everybody, to the Gazette Radio Hour with Doug and John on Santa Clarita's hometown station, AM-1220 KHTS. Our special guest today is Congressman Steve Knight, who represents the 25th Congressional District.
Now, Congressman, the 25th District is huge. That's the only way to put it, right?
Yeah, it's a sizable drive.
Yeah, I can imagine. And you've got such diverse demographics. I mean, you've got Palmdale with the military, industrial. You've got Santa Clarita with bedroom community stuff. In representing your constituents, do you notice a common theme, like one thing that everybody's really, really concerned about?
Over the last 4 days, we've driven Simi Valley several times, Santa Clarita, and all over the Antelope Valley, and we try and go in and talk to business owners and folks that are working in the medical industry, or everyone is looking for, kind of just a little bit better life. That's kind of the thing. I know that's a broad topic, but nobody believes that we have pulled all the way out of this recession over the last 6 or 7 years. And
good point.
So jobs, economy, having a new opportunity or a new job opportunity, all of those things always come in. And I know that's a big, broad subject, but it just is the way it is. I mean, I have small business throughout the three valleys. Probably, 85% of the people that work in these valleys are working for a small business. So
it's a lot of consumer confidence.
It is confidence. Yep.
So bottom line, do you think our new president, along with you guys, needs to cut taxes? It's just a starter? Just, corporate, whether it's corporate or income tax, just to get the trickle down going? Are you a believer in that?
Heck, I'd love to cut taxes, but I don't know that that's the number one thing we need to do. I don't. There's several things that have happened over the last 5 or 10 years that need to be relooked at. And the tax structure, unfortunately, there's 86,000 people working for the IRS, and there's 100,000 people out there that have jobs involved for the tax process. So it's going to be real difficult to go in there and just say, hey, we're going to do these changes, we're going to do that, and it's going to fix everything. But I think we can do some incremental changes. I think that some business tax issues, capital gains tax issues, some of those things that will stimulate the economy, put money into the economy, put some confidence into people to invest in America.
Good point.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We can do some of those things.
All right, I'd like to switch gears a little bit and talk about the Iran deal, which is talked about a great deal. When does that come to a vote?
The last thing I saw, I got an email from Leader McCarthy a couple days ago, and the first day we come back from recess, which is September 8th.
And what's how do you stand on that?
On the Iran deal. Well, I'm a huge opponent of the deal. I think that there are some good things that were negotiated in there, but the drastic issues that some have talked about are so glaring and make this deal something that I can't believe anybody would vote for, are too many. There's about 8 of them. And so I will be voting no. I've written some op-eds on it, and I've been very vocal against this. And now the process goes of if there's enough votes to do a veto override.
Yeah. So you're making common cause with the enemy, right?
Yeah, exactly.
How do you feel about? I mean, that's basically accusing Republicans of committing treason if they vote no. Really?
Well, I don't know. I think that there are going to be some Republicans that are going to. I don't know if they're going to support the deal, but there have been a couple that have talked about it. And to his credit, Secretary of State Kerry has made some comments that really make people scared that if we don't get this deal, then we're going into a war with Iran, and that's just not the truth.
I don't think that's even on the table. It's
head
scratching to me. It really is head scratching to me.
But it's the Secretary of State who is instrumental in doing this deal. Says that. A lot of people say, "Well, gosh darn, is that where we're going?" And
Do you get when something like this comes up? Do you get briefed by the Secretary of State? Do they come out and at least give you clear information, or do you just rely on your staff?
I've had countless briefings on this. Yeah, by several different people.
Yeah.
And briefings to where we can have a Q&A. So this has gone, I don't think that, this is something that I would say that I am a full expert on, but I'm pretty doggone good. I bet you I get a B on this at least.
Yeah, it seems like it's kicking the can down the road 10 years. It really
Hey,
does.
Congressman, we're hearing about the side deals that we don't know about, and I assume you guys don't know about them either, the so-called two-side deals?
Yeah, so, a lot of things come out of Congress. In 7 months, I have figured out that some of the things that come out of the news are just blatantly wrong. The Iran deal itself, a lot of people were saying, golly, I wish people could see the Iran deal. Well, I've had it up on my website for, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, something like that. So you can read it word for word, the Iran deal. The side deals that are coming out, or the side deals that may or can happen, are a bone of contention of when will we see them, what will we see. All of those are bones of contention, and that is, some of this information is sensitive, and it's sensitive to other countries. We understand that, but this is national security, and this is international security, and we need to see everything.
All right. Can we talk into Stan for one more segment?
Sure.
All right.
Awesome. All right. You're listening to Gazette Radio Hour with special guest. Actually, we're going to make this the Congressman Steve Knight Hour for today. We'll kick Doug out.
He's got nothing else to do.
All right. You're listening to Gazette Radio Hour with special guest Congressman Steve Knight on AM-1220 KHTS Santa Cruz Hometown Station. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Santa Clarita Gazette Radio Hour with Doug and John. It's the Radio Digest version of the Santa Clarita Gazette. And you're listening to your hometown station, AM-1220 KHTS, and our special guest today on the Gazette Radio Hour is none other than Congressman Steve Knight. So, Congressman Knight, a little bit about Planned Parenthood.
I know, that seems to be a big one. Like you couldn't see that one coming.
I mean, there's not a lot of things that have raised my emotions as much as that has. And combine that with the poor lion that got shot and all the outrage about the lion, but not too much outrage about the videos on the baby parts being sold. What's your stand on that?
Well, I've been pretty doggone vocal on this. I am against funding Planned Parenthood. There's no doubt there. If we're going to give them $565 million, you're going to have to show me other companies, other industries that we do this. But I guarantee the proponents of Planned Parenthood can't show us where we spend $500 million on an organization that, yes, they do things that I don't believe in. I am a pro-life candidate. There's no doubt about that. But this is $500 million of taxpayers' money. I can't believe that people are okay with that.
It is kind of a head-scratcher. The arguments you hear in favor of it is, well, they provide other services.
Okay, well, what's health insurance for?
There's an awful lot of other organizations out there that provide women's health issue services, and they raise every dollar that goes into that organization to help those young ladies.
It would be better if they got the funding.
Well, I'm just saying, why is Planned Parenthood think that they are so different than these other organizations that are helping with women's issues, that are helping with women's health issues, and they are raising money through the community, through folks out there? Why are they different? And or maybe we should just take that $500 million and split it up with these organizations.
There you go.
That help.
Yeah.
I mean, so this is going to be obviously this is a political issue. There's no doubt about that. The pro-life people are very up in arms about this. The videos were disgusting, and so I could go on and on about this, but this is a very political issue. I have said all along I am a very pro-life candidate. My wife sits on a board out here in the Old Valley that does a lot of things for young ladies and women's health issues, and so this is going to be something, though, when we come back.
Yeah, I can imagine.
This fire is just getting hotter and hotter, I'm telling you.
Well, let's switch to something that's not so political, immigration.
Yeah.
Something so much more easier to solve. To me, it seemed like last night everybody was in favor of securing the border. But we've talked about that for how long? And it never really
well,
happens.
Since 1986.
Yeah, it never really happens, does it? Is this
money? Well, I'll disagree a little bit. Money does go into the border, and more money has gone into the border in the last 20 or so years. But we can do an awful lot to secure the border, and an awful lot with the technology that we've learned in Afghanistan. And I think that that's what people are looking for. Yes, we just don't want a porous border where people can come over and maybe hurt us. We're not talking about a day in time where people are just coming over here for a better life.
Right.
There are people that are looking to hurt us, and we're finding those in Middle America. We're not just finding them on the border anymore. And so I think this is starting to ramp up. It's not just a immigration issue. This is a safety issue.
Yeah, it seems like we should be spending our money smarter. I really like what you said earlier about how we spend our money, not what we spend it on necessarily.
So we've only got a minute left, Congressman, but one of my biggest concerns in our country today, particularly for my kids and my grandkids, is the debt. 18, 19 trillion, whatever it's going to be. How do you feel about that?
I think that this is probably the biggest issue in America. Well, it is the biggest issue. If we cannot get the deficit under control, and we have a plan to do that in a 10-year program, and then at least show that we can start paying down the debt, this will envelop this country. Right now, and you can quote me on this, if a dollar was a second, our debt is 544,000 years ago. So that's not something we're going to pay off, but it is something that we have to show that we can at least start making payments on it. Can't do that unless you get the deficit to a zero balance and a balanced budget. So those are things that this Congress is working on. Those are things, if we follow this 10-year plan, we will be at that point. But I don't want to be in 10 years saying, well, if a dollar was a second, now we're 900,000 years ago.
Yikes. Congressman, before we let you go, I want to give props to your field representative out here, Mr. Dante Acosta. I see that guy everywhere. No matter where I go, no matter what event it is, he's there, whether it's Rotary, the meetings, anything, picnics, whatever it is, he's there representing you, and I think he does a great job. I just want to give a shout-out to him.
Well, I appreciate that. I have a great staff, and Dante does an awful lot for the citizens of 25th, no doubt about it.
Yeah. Hey, Congressman, real quick, if people want to get more information about you and where you stand and things like that, is there a good place for them to go on the Internet?
Sure, I'll give you three things. So you can go on to my /house.gov page. And if you just go on and say Representative Knight under Google, it'll go to my page. You can also sign up for Night Vision. It comes out every 10 days. It's kind of a little form that we send out that shows what I'm doing in the district, what's happening in Congress. And then I do this all the time, and, everybody yells at me, but I still do it. My personal cell phone is 661-450-7422. If you have a question, please text me. I don't listen to voicemails, but you can text me on that, and I'll either call you back we'll get an answer for you, something like that. Our job is to make things better.
Exactly.
Congressman, we really, really appreciate you coming on today. Thanks so much for your time.
All right, John, Doug, thanks very much.
Great. Thanks so much, Congressman. All right, that was Congressman Steve Knight on the Gazette Radio Hour with Doug and John on AM-1220 KHTS, Santa Clara's hometown station. We're back after this.